check it, is MUI, material UI. I told you to try it. Then after this, we started a state management library Redux. Sir, there I told you to try options for Redux also, like Mobex. Okay. Then after this, sir, there are options or Justad. Some people will market share is 10% only. The majority market share is Redux only. Management library only. Mobex is also state management library for React, sir. Or you have some other thing called Justat, Justant. This is also state management library only, Justant. Okay. But these were very minimum. People don't use these things much. Okay. Majority of the share is Redux only. So we discussed something called Redux, and then we discussed something called Redux toolkit. Right? For APIs, we used something called Axios till now. Fetch and Axios. That's it. Any doubts here till now? These were the things we covered, ma. Okay. I may missed one a bit. Like you can check it upon. Okay. At any point when you are getting it, any other things doubts also, I will. You can let me know in the group that I will explain it one more time. Okay. In the group, I will just reply it. Now we almost did on everything. We did a project. Okay. So now we discussed yesterday Redux and then Redux toolkit yesterday. Before that, Redux. One more interesting concept is there in Redux. Let me show you one sample of it. Let's go here. Redux counter. For Redux and Redux toolkit, I just shared a notes in the group yesterday night. You can even check the similar one in the in the GitHub also. In notes, as I just updated. Now, if I go down, CD projects, CD Redux counter, npm run dev. Mm-hmm. Go here. Now, sir, count value initially 0. I am increasing it to 1. This is easy, right? So when you are taking it count values with 0 to 1, 1 to 0, these kind of things are very easy. What if my initial value dependent on API, right? Sir, you have seen it like API logic. When you use use state, what if you want to print a product or all products from Freight Store API? So what will happen? You will take in a use state with an empty array and you will do use effect, and use effect immediately call some use effect is the first one which will run. It will call from fetch, and the fetch will bring it that API from that API all the products, and will give it to use state value, and it will update on the screen. That's how you did it for products previous, right? Now, sir, how can we do that in Redux? In Redux, what I want is I want this state value, whatever is there, initial store state value, this initial state store value. If I take it in array of products, and this products array will be updated automatically, whenever use effect runs. Okay. So that means we need an action. We need an action which calls the fetch, which does the fetch API, which does the sync await, or which does the kind of Axios. Now, usually action creators, these are action creators, na? Action creators returns an object, right or not? Action creators returns an object. Now, sir, let me try this. Let me show you. Instead of this, if I directly if you remember, someone asked me a question, sir. Can I directly send it this only? Why do you write brackets? Now, if I do like this, what kind of error I will get it here? Right click, inspect, console. Now go here. What? If I just write it here, why this ad is not working? Add. Now see, actions must be plain objects. Actions must be plain objects. Instead, the actual type was undefined. Here, you are actually sending it not the object, you are sending it a function. Now, the moment you send a function, they will say you may need to add a middleware to your store, setup handling, dispatching other values. Okay, sir, in case if your action is dispatching a function instead of a plain object, if it is a plain object, action creators directly send a plain object. But if it is some kind of function, you wanted to do some kind of asynchronous functions. Okay, this kind of asynchronous functions will be dealt in the Redux by using something called Redux thunk. What is it called? Redux thunk. Okay, so how do you do this Redux thunk, sir? Redux thunk is called middleware. Redis thunk is called middleware. What is this middleware means? Middleware means which is like between will be there. Okay, to say you precisely, this is the logic, sir. The logic is action creator. Action creator is like add a something function. This action creator will trigger the actions. That means this action creators will return something like an object, a type, incr, something like that. It will come. These are called actions. Then these actions will call the reducer by something called dispatch. This dispatch will make this action goes to reducer. Now reducer will update the store. This is the basic Redux structure. I think you guys already understood this, right? In this particular point, what if this action creator directly cannot able to return these actions? This action creator is directly not leading. Instead, this action creator is going with one function, and that function has to wait some time because it's an asynchronous function, and that asynchronous function has to bring the values of action creators, right? So this function in is something in middle, right, between this action creator and action. And when the function successfully runs, when the successful completion of the function, only you will get the action returned, and this function will be dealt by middleware. This is called middleware. Okay, the middle function, this one is dealt by something called middleware. Usually there are two middleware concepts. Okay, one is Redux thunk. In Redux there are two, Redux thunk and Redux saga. Redux thunk will use normal JavaScript. Redux saga will use some kind of generators. Do you guys know JavaScript generators? In JavaScript, there is a concept of generators. Okay. In an advanced JavaScript, there is a concept of generators. React Saga uses the generators. Okay. But React Thunk is actually more popular. So Redux Thunk is more popular. People will use Redux Thunk for normal JavaScript one. Okay. If it is Redux Toolkit, sir, I don't want to use Redux. I want to use Redux Toolkit. Then Redux Toolkit will have something called query logic. RTK query will be there. Okay. First we will do Thunk and then we'll do similarly RTK query. Okay. These are the ways you will deal with asynchronous functions in Redux, sir. Okay. Is this clear, ma, till now? Any doubts, sir? No. Let's deal with it. No. I will repeat it one more time. Don't worry. Once we started the application, CD, Redux, API. Now I have to create it now. NPM create with at the rate latest Redux API. CD Redux API npm install, which is automatically installed, sir. Now Redux API. Now install. You need to install all these things. npm. You can write I also. Install I also same. Okay. Redux, React Redux, Redux Thunk. Okay, everyone in the online and offline, just a reminder that tomorrow the class is there, morning 7:30. Okay, tomorrow we have a class with morning 7:30 as usual. Okay, because the next week you may get some holidays, and the next week probably we have to complete the our complete course also. So due to that, we are having it tomorrow, and tomorrow the concepts will be finalized. Like tomorrow, I will explain you something called the suspense, lazy loading, kind of advanced topics. Okay, those advanced topics, server components, kind of things. Those things will be discussed tomorrow. Okay, and then Monday onwards, we will start our project. Okay, yeah. Now, next one, sir. Online also, is it clear, ma? Now I just installed Redux, React Redux, and Redux Thunksir. Okay. Now next ones. Go here. store, no, Redux. Inside the Redux, store.js, reducers.js, actions.js. Our basic logic, okay? And in the app, REFCE, import app.css. I'm gonna use fake store API, sir, for this one, okay? Now, let's start one by one from store. First, set up a store, sir, okay? Now, you can set up a store here. Basically, you can write it here instead of store here. I will directly write it here only. One by one, we will come. Now, first I will write it actions. Then I will do the reducer. Then we will do store. Okay. You will get it in a clear idea how we will write it actions also. Okay. Now let's create export const uh, fetch products. Fetch products. Uh, request. Just I'm creating some constant values equals to fetch product request. Control C. Huh? Success. So this is nothing but just some variables. Okay. These are normally variables, sir. I may put the variable name something big. Okay. It's normally a normal variable having a constant value. Instead of writing a text somewhere else, we will create a variable. Okay. These are like messages. Like whenever your fetch request started, I want to write it like fetch request started. Whenever fetch request success, I will write it like fetch request success. But in real time scenario, what we will do, even a small message, we will create it a variable and we will write a variable there. Why? Instead of directly writing the text, because tomorrow if I want to change it, I can directly change the variable name. Okay, you got my point, sir? If so many multiple fetch requests are doing it, every time a success happened a request, I want to show it like yes, products came successfully. Then every time I don't need to check that with a normal text na. Instead of that, I can have in a variable. You got my point, sir? Yeah, usually we do that, so that's why I'm just doing it. uh, it is not mandatory. This is not nothing. This is nothing related to the uh, Redux thunk kind of one, which is a normal pattern. This is now let's create a normal action creators. A normal action creator is not a function. A normal action creator will just go with like this. Export, if I write it some kind of fetch products, fetch products request. If someone do the request, sir, then nothing but which is an object. Okay. So same thing. Type fetch product request. See, instead of writing it fetch products request normal name, I used a variable. That's it. Okay. Are you getting my point, ma? Yeah, that is the same thing. Now, uh, export const fetch products success fetch product success. Type, sir, if success happened, then it should return all the products. Type fetch product success, comma, payload. Usually actions send two things. One is type, one is payload. If you remember in the RTK query, I showed you that, right? Did you remember in Redux in second logic when we do to do, I showed you, right? In to do, I showed like sometimes I send ID, sometimes I send the data. That is called payload. Did you remember that, sir? Usually two things. Payload is the data you are sending it. Sir, in real-time applications, the object which you are creating, the state which you are managing is not a single value. Count zero, count one, not like that. In reality, it may be an object inside an object inside an object, a multiple object. Imagine your user placed an order. What item he placed? Okay, what time he placed? What time it will deliver? How much he pay? What is his name? What account he used? This all will be in one object because that object has to show through that guy. You got my point? Okay, multiple dependent nested objects also will be there. That is not that much simple. So that's why we will take it something payload here. Payload, I'm just giving it products. Based on this actions, we will write our what reducer. Export const fetch products failure. If any failure happen, then it will send some error message. Okay. And in this error, okay, sorry. In this error message, it will say type fetch product failure. Then any type fetch product failure. Here also wrong. Fetch products. Okay. Now here and at the same time, payload will be error. Till now, any doubt, sir? But interestingly, till now, nothing will happen. Why? If fetching happens only na something success or failure or request, something will be there. Right? Till now, no fetching only happened. Are you clear, sir? First, we will write the logic for fetching. Now we are going to create an action creator which will do fetching operation. Okay. Now fetch request is also wrong. Fetch request. This is also wrong. Fetch products request. Because variable has to give. I gave the function name there. Yeah. Now next. Export const fetch products. Only products. Now this is the main fetch logic. Now see, here I did not put any other thing like normal brackets. I am now returning the actual function only. Okay. How do you do that? Return asynchronous function. Okay. And this asynchronous function will take it some dispatch. Whatever this asynchronous function taking the input, whatever the asynchronous function. So I think this is arrow function. You guys know that, right? Asynchronous arrow function. Now this asynchronous arrow function, whatever the input, that input is dispatch. Okay. Now let's try it. I will create a component. In that component I will do what is I will call this particular fetch products, and at that time I will show you that. Now here this is returning, this fetch products is returning an asynchronous function. For that asynchronous function, dispatch is the main one, no, parameter. Now inside this, let's write it, dispatch fetch products request. First thing happens is request. First request will happen, sir. Now after this request, let's put it some try block, try and catch blocks. Okay. In case if it is catch is having any error, sir, dispatch fetch users, fetch products, failure with an error. Usually you used to dispatch the action, you used to dispatch the action creators in the component, right? Now I am dispatching inside the fetch products only. So one action creator is actually dispatching the other action creators. Now this main action creator will dispatch inside the component, inside the use effect. Okay. Now, anyway, here I will write it a basic logic of I'm using fetch only, sir. You can use Axios also. It was similar. Okay. Now, const res equals to await fetch, give the URL of fake store products. Dot. Okay, no need of dot. We are using async a bit, na. So const data equals to await res.json, and here dispatch fetch products success, and for that I will pass data. Then what will happen, sir? First thing, this fetch products normal method will call. This method is returning an asynchronous function, and inside this one, first request is dispatching. The moment it is dispatching, reducer will understand, okay, this guy is calling something request. Okay, fetching fetch products request means automatically it will understand something type is equals to fetch products request. Then after this, what it will understand? After this, it will come to this try block. It will do this fetch products, and then it will get this data, and then again it will call fetch product success. Here fetch product success, it will take products as that particular data whatever it received, and that data it will take it as payload, and then it will again dispatch into the reducer. Now reducer will understand something called fetch product success. Okay, in case error happen, reducer will understand fetch products failure. You got my point, sir? Is it clear, sir, till now? Now let's write it reducer this side and component that side, and we will finish a store with the thunk. Where you will write it thunk, thunk you will actually declare in the store. Create store, we will write one function. Na? In that create store function, you will declare the thunk, not anywhere. Okay, in middleware, you don't use it anywhere. Okay, because that is mainly in the store, the middleware. Now let's write it here a reducer, sir. Import. I am taking these names. These are some variables, normal variables. If you remember. Okay, I think I called it twice. Okay. Now, after I took them, next initial state, const initial state equals to. Now let's declare some initial values, sir. Initially, is it any loading? If fetch request, if the moment fetch product request started, loading will become true. Okay. And whenever the fetch request success, loading will become false and automatically I will take it the data. Okay. Now here you can take it three values. One is products, sorry, errors. These are the initial states, sir. Any doubts in this initial state, ma? Okay, I hope no doubts. Let's go here. Const product reducer. I hope you guys are understanding exactly how we are writing it. At any point, if you are not understanding, please let me know. State is state is equals to initial state, comma action. Okay, and let's go here. Let's write it here. Switch. This is same. If you see all applications, it's similar. Switch action dot type, and here based on the case, if case fetch request, case fetch success, case fetch failure, default. Default return state, export default product reducer. Okay. Now here is the point. Here is the point which we need to do. Return whatever the previous state is there, keep that previous state is same object. Only update it. If request happen, loading value will become true. Are you getting my point, sir? Right? Because the request started, so loading will become true. Now next one, if it is success, then here return state, comma loading became false. Okay, and products. Now whatever the products are there, products are nothing but action dot payload. Because in the payload I just sent the products, right? Now same thing, if it is a failure, sir, you will write it here, error. Error will become, because if it is in a failure case, I send it the error. Any doubts, sir? Any doubts, ma? How did I wrote it? Now next one. Now go here to the main store. Go to the main store. Here create the store. Import create store. Create store. Why it is not coming? Import from React Redux. Just Redux. Now it will come. Huh? Create store, comma, apply. Usually it will come, sir. Apply middleware. Okay. Now after this, I don't know why it is not coming. Install JSON का Redux. Package.json. Redux install చేసాక ఇదిగో ఉందిగా Redux. మరి sometimes it will take it like this only. Unnecessary. Import thunk from Redux thunk. Okay. And import provider from React Redux. Okay. Now you have to create a store. Actually, you can create separately a store function, store file, and you can create it there and you can send it here, or you can do it directly here. Okay, which is nothing but const store equals to create store. And in this store, you will give the reducers. And I'm giving it product reducer. And for the product reducers, I am giving it comma product reducer comma apply middleware. And in the apply middleware, I am giving it what middleware you want. Thunk. Any doubt, sir? Then this thunk will be taking care of that fetch logic. Okay. And here I have to say provider store equals to store see this, sir. Any doubts? Just process it. Are you getting it, ma? Now go to the app. Now in the app, you need to write it all the logic. Import use effect. Sir, usually API calls you will do it with use effect here. Okay. Now here I will write it const dispatch equals to use dispatch. Why use dispatch is also not working? Dispatch. From React Redux. Now in this use dispatcher and then const three things. One is loading, one is products, one is error, and I am taking it from use state. Sorry, use selector. Use selector is used to get the values, sir. Any doubts, ma? Any doubts, sir? No. Let's just check it. Will it work or not? Use effects. In the use effect, sir, you will write it here. Use effect will take it two things, ma. Why use effect is not taking it here? Spelling wrong. Use effect will take it one callback function, and use effect also will take it one dependency array. Based on the dependency array, if the dependency array changes, use effect will call. Now here dispatch, and it should dispatch something. Okay, so import fetch products, main one. So I am dispatching fetch products here. It depends on dispatch. If dispatch value changes, automatically it will go. Let's just print them whether it's working or not. If system is loading, if it is not loading, this line will not come, sir. Okay. Or if any errors are there, then let's go here. UL uh, products.map. I think you guys know the remaining thing, right? So I'm just printing all the products. Okay. So here products.map. Here I will just print it. Li key is equals to index pro comma index. I will print it here pro dot title. Only the product titles will come in our project. Later I can do it like nice, UI and all, that is a different case. Our main purpose is how this thunk is working on. Okay. Npm run dev. It is saying it like node modules, it's not done. Okay, Tank is named import. Usually it will give it in suggestions only. Selector unknown returned root state when called. This can lead to unnecessary renders. So selector mistake. Import combine reducers. Combine reducers from Redux. So what I'm doing it, sir. Usually, see, if the problem is in the selector, I am taking these values directly state na, it cannot be taken. You have to take it state loading separately, product separately, or error separately. Instead of this, what I will do, I will add this one as a combined reducer so that I will use it here. Uh, const root reducer equals to combine reducer. I think we already did the combine reducers, how this logic works. Inside the combine reducers, you will give usually an object. And in this object, you will mention it a reducer name. Okay. Now I will say products prored proredu. Prored equals to product reducers. Okay. Key value pair. Now I will give it here root reducer. If I give it, sir, now in the store, one reducer is stored. Actually, where is the all the values? All the values will be inside the ProRed. So I will go here, app, my app application. Here I will say state.prored. Okay. What the hell? Why it is not showing anything? This one is coming. Use effect is getting called. Okay. So it should go to fetch products now. So go here in the fetch products. In the fetch products, first thing it should make it is dispatch this fetch request. So it should go here reducers in fetch request. Why this one is not doing it? Export default product reducer need to export. I did na product reducer I see. But basically you understand the logic, right? You will create it, one new action creator. This action creator is returning function instead of a normal object, and this one will deal by something called thunk. Okay, in between you have to write it in the main wherever you are creating the store. There you have to apply the middleware named as thunk. Okay, thunk. Because I'm not getting imports, I think somewhere it's wrong. But apply middleware, you have to mention it whatever the thunk you take it from Redux Thunker, then automatically it will work. Try these things one more time with you. Okay, you will get it. The same way Redux Saga also works. Redux Saga is an alternative for thunk, but Redux Saga will not use a direct methods here. Here it uses normal fetch, async await kind of one. Instead of fetch and async await, Redux Saga will use something called generators concept. Okay, generators are the repeatable functions. Okay, something you will put asterisk before a function, you will write yield comma things. That is generator. Saga is kind of advanced one which uses generator. Or you can use, go here. You can even check it in Redux website, in the main Redux website. Redux toolkit, Redux toolkit website. If you go here, you can see something called RTK query. RTK query is similar to Redux, you know, what is this? Redux thunk. Okay. But RTK query is more powerful than Redux thunk. Redux thunk is used for only asynchronous operation dealings. But RTK query is used for data fetching and caching methodologies to make your memory optimized. Okay, caching, and at the same time doing the friend requests again and again. Okay, whenever it is needed, only in the times of needed, we will use something called RTK query. It's a powerful data fetching and caching tool. Okay, same thing here. For APIs, we will use something called create API method. Same like, did you remember create slice when you use RTK tool? So you will write it something create API, and in that create API, you will give set of URLs. See, create API, this guy take it create API and fetch base API, and he is taking it from the this is a TypeScript one which though. Okay. Now here he took the reducer, which is Pokemon API, and he took it something fetch base API query, and he gave the URL for the Pokemon one, and he started an endpoint build. Okay. So this is this one short though. This Angular brackets wo ye pura TypeScript. Okay. Don't worry about it. Ultimately, what it will do, these are endpoints. Endpoints means if someone gave it this URL API slash B2 slash Bulbasaur. Now what will happen automatically? This query will take it here, builder the query name Bulbasaur, and here it will write it Bulbasaur and it will write it Pokemon. This Pokemon means this particular URL. This URL slash Bulbasaur. It will come like that. Okay. It's like product API. We will write products, fetch products slash something you wanna write it to each and every product. For that endpoints, you will use this. Okay. Else you don't need to use that also. Then whenever you are configuring store, because Redux toolkit will use configure store, Redux will use something called create store. In the configuring store, you can directly give this. You don't need to say it like thunk and all. You can directly say it like middleware and default middleware and add the default middleware with the Pokemon API middleware. Redux query is also middleware only. Redux thunk is also middleware only. Redux query is a way of developing the middleware with RTK, Redux toolkit. But Redux thunk is a way of developing the middleware from Redux. Is this clear, sir? Okay. So try to implement one simple functionality using, try to take it any API functions and then implement it using Redux thunk. Okay. This one, what is the difference between get and post put methods in API? Okay, I think someone needs to understand more details about requests. That's why we did CRUD. I think you guys remembered CRUD. When we did CRUD, get is used to get the all values. Read. Get means read. Put means you will change something, update something. Post means you will add something, a new data add. Are you guys getting it? Okay. And there is another one delete, which will delete the thing. Okay, that is a basic CRUD application. You all should do CRUD application. Okay. Any other doubts, sir? Why middleware is required, sir? One more time, middleware Redux through diagram. See, go here. When action creators, these action creators are actually used for creating actions. Action creators are nothing but the functions which you create it, like ink or something. Action creators return something, a plain object. They return a plain object like this. Type ink kind of comma payload something. Okay. This is a basic object and this is called action. And this action will get dispatched for reducer. This action will get dispatched for reducer. And reducer will update the store basically. I just removed the component from our chart. Actually, if you put component, it will become a complete cycle. Now here, interesting point is this, sir. This action creators usually directly return this particular actions. But sometimes instead of returning it, this action creators need to do a function. What if an action creator is doing a asynchronous function? Asynchronous function means which will take it a time. Now these asynchronous functions are dispatching these actions. If you remember, our logic is same. Action creator named fetch products is there. Instead of directly doing normal as action creators, my component triggered the fetch products. Now fetch products is a asynchronous one. That fetch products created the actions, right? Fetch products created the actions. Now here component is there. Component directly trigger this function. This functions trigger the actions. Now this asynchronous functions. How do you deal this asynchronous functions then? Now how this middleware, this middle value, this asynchronous functions, how they dispatch into reducer, right? They can't directly dispatch their reducers, sir. They can't directly go to reducers. To go to directly to the reducer, sir, whenever you added this reducer to the store, you will add something called middleware. There is a middleware. Middleware will take care of this logics. And one of the middleware here is Redux Thunk. Okay. Also, you can use Saga or also you can use RTK query. Is this clear, ma? Any doubts? This is a complete story of middlewares and even Redux. Okay. The more and more you apply the Redux into bigger projects, you will understand it more and more complexity of Redux. Okay, it's not that much simple as we discussed. We discussed simple examples actually. Anyway, we will do main project. In that main project, so many things will be there. If it is an e-commerce website, so many objects will be there. Everything we will manage it with Redux on. Okay. Any doubts, ma, till now? Till now, any doubts, sir? No. So try to, as you guys already understand, boundaries and all tomorrow, sir. Okay. As you understand most of the concepts, sir, try to see others code. Try to see, go to GitHub or go to reduxjsexample.com, which I gave you. Okay. See someone's code and try to understand it. So the main tasks from today onwards, whenever you feel it, Redux, go to this website, reduxjsexample.com. Here, so many are there. Now take a simple one. Don't take it bigger things. For example, Redux. Okay, I will go here. Calculator. Okay, I'm going into the Redux calculator. Simple. Uh, a simple calculator with using Redux and JSX. So they will give you some kind of GitHub. Go to GitHub and click dot and open their particular code base and try to see their code base, how they are work, how they designed it. Okay, then you may understand it, like maybe whatever the thing they followed, it may not be good. Okay. Okay, how much time? See, they followed the similar one, SRC. In the SRC, it is a simple one then. See, nothing is there. In the SRC index.js. Okay. Can you understand this? Obviously, it's the same one. So index.css. Okay, it's the same one. They did not change. App.js. Now only one component is there, which is calculator. Nothing is there in app.js. So then go to components. In components, only one component is there, which is calculator, and another one is there, CSS. So I will go to calculator JSX. Now in this JSX, they took something called useState and they took something called React. Okay, and they did it everything here in the return. They took some container, they used some styles, inline styling, they used a form for input, and this form value is taken from result. So the result is something from use state. Okay, result and set result, initially result is empty. And then they took all the values, and for each and every values, they used something called on click and they used something called handle click. And if you go to handle click, this handle click is taking an E. So based on E, they will take it like E dot target dot value. If they take it, they will get it actually what number they clicked on. And based on the number, they are updating the set result. And once the result is over, they will make it clear. They will made set result updated. Okay, which is a simple application. My point is try to see someone's code, understand it, and you will get a new idea. How why not we can do like that, and then try to do on your own. You got my point, sir? You can check it somewhat bigger ones also here. So many examples are there, like movie applications are there. Okay, kind of Netflix applications are there. Something bigger applications are also there. Don't see React Native, don't see Next.js. Except these two, you can see anything here. Okay. Now some kind of templates. Already developed React.js templates are there. You can see them and you can use it. Okay. Is it clear, sir, everyone? Any doubts till now? And I think most people already developed their portfolio or started it. If not, make it complete as soon as possible. Okay. And you also can do with me my main project. Okay. Is it clear, ma? Try to complete more and more projects. Okay. List out all the projects till now we did at one place. We will discuss it tomorrow. Any doubts, sir? No. Yeah, that's it. If any doubts at any point when you are reading something you got doubts, sir, you can just mention in the group. I will check it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all.